Hello and welcome to Vidcast. We're going to be playing a little bit of Cards Against Humanity. I'm Paul, as you may know, not the usual host, but it is my house, so my rules. So, I'm joined tonight by John.
Hello, it's me.
Steve.
Hello, it's me too.
And Carly.
No, I can't speak.
She's the voice.
Carly, his voice is
Your
gone.
head.
You might be able to hear it every now and again. And one sleeping child, who we will not go into right now. So, first of all, we're going to introduce the game and talk a little bit about what we're going to be playing. Myself, Steve, and Carly have yet to play it, but John has. So, away you go.
Right, it's a card game, tabletop game called Cards Against Humanity. It's been around for a while. It was a Kickstarter that was successful. Surprisingly, people still haven't heard of it. It's one of those things that some people know about, some don't at this stage. It is a card game for horrible people. It's not for the younger generation. If you do play it, you've got to be in a fairly a broad-minded group of friends. I have played it with some who were and some who weren't, and it actually stimulated some quite interesting discussion. However, there are some cards in here which would offend some people, so just bear that in mind when you play it, because you haven't got time to search through every single card. We're going to have a go at playing it tonight whilst shooting the breeze. So expect some parts of this pod / vidcast to be the game itself with the rather saucy vocabulary, and other parts we'll be talking about video games and comics and TV and whatever comes to our mind, if that makes sense. But I think first of all we should open the box up. It's a brand new box. I have played with a friend's box before, so to speak. It's going to be kind of the theme of this tonight. His name is not Luca Christie, don't worry. And I will explain.
You should be so.
Yeah, I know. I'll also explain the rules a little bit. I know, and I may have to go back and check the more elaborate rules. But the main rules, basically, you get everyone gets 10 cards. You take 10 cards, a bit like Triple Pursuit. You take from one end of the pack. And on those 10 cards are some interesting words. Some of them can be quite innocuous, some of them can be quite contentious. And then there's another smaller pack of cards which are phrases. So the cards with words on them you have to choose for the game are white. The cards with phrases on them are black. And those phrase cards might be something like, during sex I like to think about. And there could be an option for, here's an example, homeless people.
Fred West.
Fred West, yeah. You laugh, but that could happen. Another card is pulling out. And another card could be explosions. And the idea is that depending on how many of you are playing, we've got 4 people playing tonight. One person is nominated as the phrase repeater, the phrase sayer from the black card. The rest of the players have to choose one of their 10 cards they think is the funniest for that particular phrase. The cards are put down the table. The person holding the black card mustn't know who's given what card. You mustn't actually give out who's done which card. The phrase holder then reads out the phrase each time with the phrase from each card. So during sex I like to think about homeless people. During sex I like to think about pulling out. During sex I like to think about explosions. And the person with the card then decides which is the funniest. Okay, and that then the person who chose the funniest word to fit into that phrase then takes control of the black cards. And that is it. There are no points, there are no scoring. It's just a game that's meant to make you laugh, or cry, or punch someone. So we thought we'd have a go at playing. We might need to shift all the food out of the way to do this. There are a few other rules. I'll explain them as we go along. I'm unboxing this now. This was, as I said, originally Kickstarter, but you can get hold of it on Amazon now. We've got the UK edition. I'll just throw it on the floor if that's all right. We've got the UK edition because obviously some of the phrases in this box are UK specific or US specific. As you can see here, we have the white cards. This one has the milkman on it. At this end we have the black cards. This one has airport security guidelines now prohibit the milkman on airplanes. Or airport security guidelines now prohibit David Bowie flying in on a tiger made of lightning on airplanes. So you can see the sort of things that are expected for this game. We have to be really careful here about which end we pick and replace from, by the way, because it's very easy after a few beers to forget that and you get repetition. So we'll take them out, we'll pick from this end and we'll replace in this end once these black cards are out. I'm going to nominate Carly, who's off camera right now, folks, to be the first person to hold the phrases and decide which is the funniest. Okay, Carly?
That's fine.
So the phrase cards, pick from the top, put at the bottom. All right. And then obviously there are some other rules which I'm going to read out now.
Do
Okay.
not pass go.
The basic rules. Is blah 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 blah. You're actually called the card czar. Card czar.
Okay, that's
Okay, the card
No,
czar,
not the
not a phrase holder.
okay.
The card czar. You have to remember the last one I was quite drunk, so. Some cards say pick 2 on the bottom, and you actually have to choose 2 cards to fill in the 2 gaps. So every time you put a card down, you always hold 10 in your hands. You have to replace them as well.
Double bubble.
Okay. Okay. That we didn't play that bit, so I'll leave that bit out. Gambling. If a black card is played and you have more than one white card that you think could win, you can bet one of your awesome white points to play an additional white card. If you win, you keep your point. Yeah, that's too complicated.
I was going to say, do you want
Yeah.
We're going to play the normal
Now,
style.
now there is a happy ending. When you're ready to stop playing, when it becomes too interminable, or you've offended someone and the room needs to be cleared, you can play that. Make a haiku black card to end the game. This is the official ceremonial ending of a good game of Cards Against Humanity. This card should be reserved for the end. I'll have to find the haiku card. And the way that the haiku card works is you take all the cards that have been put down and form a haiku from it. That makes sense. There should be a haiku card in there somewhere.
So when do we have
when
to
you-
roll a double 6?
No, I haven't got the dice. mate.
Okay.
Got the dice.
The
Steve.
stakes are
Steve's
down and
Yeah,
lads
yeah.
are up.
Oh
my god. Okay. This may not end up as it should do.
There's also another rule which is called Rando Cardarisian, which I think may be a Star Wars reference.
Really?
Every round, you can, if you want to, pick one random white card from the pile and place it into play. This card belongs to an imaginary player called Rando Cardarisian, and if he wins a game, all players go home in a state of everlasting shame.
What does this mean?
What?
God is dead. Here's another rule. God is dead. Play without a card czar. Each player picks his or her favourite card for each round. The card with the most votes wins a round. So you
I
can,
picked it.
yeah. And there's another rule which just says Ed Balls, and the explanation is Ed Balls.
What about It's a Trap?
That's a Star Wars reference too.
We know that card.
Yeah. Okay, here's what I was explaining earlier on. So, if there's a card that you don't understand, there are some pop
We can't
references.
play on cards and this makes
No. if Carly, for instance, who has less understanding of youth culture than the rest of us, right?
Bitch.
If she doesn't understand all the cards, she may discard it, but then she must confess her ignorance to the group and suffer the resulting humiliation from it. So we are allowed to take the piss.
Oh, damn. That's so difficult.
There is one card which just says Card Against Humanity on it, but I'm trying to remember what the rule is for that one. Does it say it here?
I will figure it out.
Yeah, it makes
Come
sense.
on, let's play.
Here we go. Finally,
Oh,
finally. This is a bit of background history for the game, if you're interested. Right?
Not really.
Cards Against Humanity was made by 8 fat Yanks. We've rewritten about 15% of the game to adapt it to your outmoded culture. I guess that's the UK. We'd love to know if you think it's the dog's bollocks or a bit crap. Give us a ring at mail@cardsagainsthumanity.com. So feel free to send them filth as well if you're listening to this.
Actually, we should send them this video.
We shouldn't we?
So this is what you reduced
Yeah.
to. So this level of
Disclaimer: Cards Against Humanity is a work of satire. Please address all complaints and legal threats to the estate of General George Washington. 3,000 is an address of the... Yeah, anyway.
3,400
freedom of speech.
Mount Vernon Memorial Highway.
In other words, the White House.
Yes, basically. Oh, you funny guys. Right, let's start. Okay, so cards.
So
What is that one? Is that a haiku card?
yes,
I'll leave it
which
there.
we'll leave in there.
Well found. So we must pick the thing that says that has no name on it and put back that has the actual answer on it. Does that make sense? So I'll deal some out.
There you go.
So we are dealing cards, boys and girls. Whilst we're doing these cards, I have a for you, Steve, a message for you. What does he get?
Do you want me to do?
I bought Drive Club
Oh,
yesterday.
Yes.
I've tried to join your club, but you won't let me join your club.
Oh, that was what you're saying. Is don't bring me down.
How many players can you join? How many is that can you do? That's 5, I think. Oh,
Give it.
5. So you need 5 more on each pile.
I think you can have 6, but I don't know if it's a private one. I need to invite you.
Oh, right. That explains why when I've tried to join other clubs that have 5 players and my friend in them, I can't join them.
Did you feel shunned?
Yeah. I think I may have joined the whole Drive Club thing too late, but I think it's fucking marvellous. What a great game it is.
Yeah, I've come away from it to play the group, so I want to get back into it. So.
Well, I want to have some races with you, but I want to make sure. I've come to the game late. I know it's had all the bad press because it's been a horrendous release for them for Drive Club, but I think now it's quite a nice game, isn't it?
Yes.
I thought
it looks really nice. And
yeah, it
now
looks stunning.
Running,
It looks really, really good. And I like the fact. Oh my god.
I just read one of these.
I have a question.
Yeah.
If I read out the black card.
Yeah. You don't get to play on this round. Oh, that's a good one.
Oh shit.
Oh,
So at this point of the game, we're all reading our cards and realising that.
Shall I show them mine?
No. Realising that YouTube might not like this video. What are the guidelines on offensive language on YouTube?
As long as it's published as explicit.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, same as podcast.
That's what I think. Yeah. Anyway, it's just going to be explicit. Let's go.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So,
First card.
Carly's now going to read the card out.
You want me to read?
Yeah.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. Our chief weapons are fear, surprise, and...
Terrible.
Oh, wait, yeah, so I can put one.
No, you're not meant to look at those again now, so I have to shuffle them up a little bit. Okay, there you go, all shuffle. Right, so what you need to do now, Carly, is read the same phrase over. You can't just read the 3 answers, you've got to read the phrase.
I'm going to say that someone's got.
So you've got to choose who you think is the funniest. You personally, not everyone else thinks.
Right.
And you get extra points if you know where this quote came from.
Actually, you can do.
John,
what?
where did this quote come from?
Spanish Inquisition is from Monty Python.
No. John's got one right!
Well, I was going to put another card down, but the other card is the continuation of the actual quote. I thought, what's the point of doing that? But how unlikely is that? We would maybe need to shuffle this a bit. Anyway, go on then, Carly.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. Our chief weapons are fear, surprise, and Daniel Radcliffe's delicious arsehole.
Jesus. Can we take that in the video? YouTube, Daniel Radcliffe, delicious arsehole.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. Our chief weapons are fear, surprise, and the gays. Oh my god, I like this one. I've already found my favourite one.
Read it out there.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. Our chief weapons are fear, surprise, and a micro pig wearing a teeny raincoat and booties.
Oh, what, a micro pig?
A micro pig wearing raincoat and booties. That's his.
I knew who was going to answer the question, so you've got to play to win these games.
I think you have an unfair advantage.
Why? Because next time it'll be me doing the choice.
Yeah, okay, yeah, true, yeah.
That doesn't work.
So
Very.
you put those cards
So
back at the end.
who wins?
You do. So
Yeah.
you now take the phrase. We all have to have another card each.
Great.
Okay. Oh god.
And me at the bottom there.
Right. Go on, let's read the phrase out. Are we going to talk about other things apart from this during our?
Well, I'm going to.
Yeah,
While we can choose our choice.
Let's have a little break, shall we?
I drink to forget.
Right.
Okay. Oh, how bad can we be?
I drink to forget.
Forget. And then where does the word go in?
I drink to forget.
Blank.
Oh right. Okay.
That's why I stopped.
Oh, I see. Right. Okay.
So.
Oh.
At the moment, it could be either of us two. Let's see.
That was yours. That was
all right. Okay. No, going back to Drive Club. See, I like I said, I've come to it late, and I think it's obviously a lot more fixed now. As a single player game, I haven't played in multiplayer yet. It's really good.
That's for Steve won't let you beat his
It's
friend.
good, yeah.
Yeah, but I think the pace is really good. It really feels fast. Some car games don't feel fast when you're driving.
That does, especially when you get
When you get the better
when
cars.
you get dark track.
Yes, yeah. I've been trying to do the drift test in one of the free downloadable cards they gave to say sorry with the Maserati.
Yeah.
And all I'm really doing is doing donuts
It's
while staring at the vacuous faces of the randomly generated crowd on the edge of the track. But the dynamic leather is lovely.
Yes. Yeah.
And I've never seen such animated detail environments that you're driving through either in the game.
Yeah,
It's really
flags
good.
and everything is absolutely.
But the driving is really good fun. And actually, I don't know, I've not driven enough of it yet, but the AI of the other cars is pretty good as well.
Yeah. But it's
It's
also
just enough to keep you interested.
When
but
you see the rest of the crew, it's like a ghost.
no, the rest of the other cars. Don't see the crew.
Well, no, as in your club.
Your
club,
club,
yeah,
your club.
Yeah, careful.
Don't upset now.
Yeah.
John's thrown down the lesson.
Yeah.
You can see that shadow, like, and even if you play it in single player, you can still see that shadow of your
Teammates.
So
That's
you can
cool.
still go against them.
Because there's a lot of shadows and a lot of ghost cars in there. So, yours next round.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you put your card down?
Okay, my answer would have been I Drink to Forget Drive Club. We want to do that one?
You can't forget it. You never played it, mate.
I Drink to Forget the Milkman. A little bit kind of.
Yeah.
I Drink to Forget the Clitoris.
He's got a rude word.
Oh, you know which one's going to win because it's just not fair. I Drink to Forget wanking into a pool of children's tears.
What? Say that again?
I Drink to Forget wanking into a pool of children's tears.
He's won.
I can't do a lot against that one.
Message to our regular listeners. Okay. And perhaps PR people and people who respect our opinions. I'm very, very sorry.
We're all very, very drunk.
Yeah, we are very.
So I just take one for the top. Yeah.
Oh God. God.
Right. What don't you find? What? What don't you want to find in your kung pao chicken?
And your kung pao chicken.
Kung pao chicken.
Okay, yeah, I got one.
You're gonna be okay. Oh, that was boring. That's this one. We'll let Steve do a quick one and then we'll come to the next topic.
Alright.
Right. What don't you want to find in your kung pao chicken? A snapping turtle biting the tip off your penis.
That's never good.
What don't you want to find in your kung pao chicken? Balls.
There's a theme running here, actually, isn't there?
What don't you want to find in your kung pao chicken? Man meat.
I think we really all thought the same thing on that one.
I think I'll go for man meat.
Yay! It's quite nice we all get going then, don't we? Think about man meat. It could be, the implied one. It could just be any flesh from the body of a man, couldn't it? Really, not just the,
Oh no!
Oh no,
yeah.
I don't need to.
The men's.
Okay.
So in terms of,
So,
So no, we're
boring.
yeah, that's what someone might have boring.
yeah.
Without
Shall I read the next card out?
Go on.
Okay. I get by with a little help from. So I do. So that's my little blanky blank impersonation there. Those of you younger than 65 won't know that reference, to be fair. Terry Wogan. Heard of him? No. Okay.
If he's not been anyone from the 70s who's not been done in a paedophile scandal, I don't think anybody knows him anymore.
No, well, Terry Wogan's managed to get away.
Super Magic.
Yeah.
Super
No,
Magic.
No,
not
okay.
being implied.
Okay. What games have you played this week, Paul?
I'm just trying to think what I've actually played. Yeah, I've been playing the game which I'm not going to talk about.
Is it a bug? Is it really?
Well, no, sharp.
What?
Top 11 2015, which is a football management game for Android, which is coming out, which I can't talk about yet. But see the website for the review.
Is it embargoed? Is it?
Yes.
Right. So this is a game you can't talk about that you've mentioned on the podcast. That's sort of an audio. Right. Okay.
Well, don't worry, because it's a 26.
That's 26. So watch out for the review on the site. What about you, Steve? What have you been playing?
I've been playing a lot of GTA 5 online. Actually, I've been
Still? What?
Boo hiss.
Oh, right.
I was booing him.
Level 20. Level 20 now.
Is that good?
It's not bad.
Let's
It's
see, he was
starting to
level
open up.
12 on the last podcast.
So 8 levels.
So 8 levels in a week. Get a life, man.
Is that quite a lot? In a week?
It's my second life.
We talked about it last
Well
podcast.
played.
Yeah,
Well played, sir.
Yeah, it depends because you can do instant instant jobs now straight from your phone. So that's what I've been doing, going from job to job to job to job.
Oh, so an in-game phone, not your actual phone.
It just
Does
ranks
the
up.
app work?
The app's just basically.
Yes, it does.
That's
Yeah.
just
Does
a
that
dog
allow you-
training a dog, isn't it?
No, you can change your vehicle license plate. You can do your cars up and stuff like that in both single and multiplayer.
My vehicle license plate, I think in Grand Theft Auto 5 was "bite me." Rightly.
Now, know what's actually going to be quite good about that is
What? What about biting me?
Yes. I've had one. Or was it a whole beer? So yeah, later. But no, if you think about the last podcast, well, we go that soon. Okay. But if you think about the last podcast we were on, when we talked about a certain game within GTA 5, and now we're going to talk about GTA 5 and a certain game.
What game was that?
Saint Shite.
Oh yes, Saints Row 4. Of course, I've played a bit of.
Well done, Sharp.
Yeah, it's been a busy week. I can't make these connections.
To be honest with John, it's easily forgettable. So
Yeah.
don't worry about it.
Gas Out of Hell. I've been playing the DLC for Saints Row 4, the re-elected thing that's come out. I think by the time you heard this, it might be about a week, won't it? By the time you hear this, it came out
Friday.
No, it's already out.
You came Friday. It
No.
came out yesterday.
Came out yesterday, yeah. Which we're recording. When are we recording this?
Friday.
I'm so
No,
confused.
today.
Saturday.
It came out Saturday.
Yeah.
It came out yesterday. Doesn't matter. It's out. Go buy it.
He's been drinking.
And this is why we
Gas Out now.
Yeah.
I have this weird. For a next gen game for PS4, it looks pretty shockingly retro and bad. However, it's still lots of fun, and I'm not so. After a while of playing, you forget the visuals. And the visuals are. It does feel like they've kind of reused assets from the PS3 game.
Really.
And what it makes me wonder is the re-elected version of the game similar looking?
So I'd be interested to see it on the PS3.
Because I was very tempted to get re-elected on the PS4 because I never got around to finishing my Saints Row 4 campaign. And you can bring your saves forward. I know. Because I think you lent it to me and they took it back, that's why.
Bring your Saints Row forward. Sure, that would be a step back.
Oh yeah, give it.
Yeah.
So yeah, level.
But so I was tempted to get it, but the DLC is great fun. It's set in hell. The president gets basically the game opens with a Ouija board at a party. All the characters from the game are in the party from Saints Row 4 in this party, and the president's there, and Johnny Gat's there, and Kenzie's there, and all the other people are there. Even the alien dude is there. I forget his name now.
Begins with a Z.
Yeah. And it's like
Xenomorph?
birthday cake and all the rest. And they decide for fun to get the Ouija board out, well they call it the Juju board, which is quite funny. And the Ouija board starts talking to him on his own, and the president gets sucked into hell, and Johnny Gat goes in after him to save him. And basically the whole game's set down in hell, and it's very quick to give you powers, very quick to give you attributes. You can spend a lot more time in the main game guessing. So straight away it's lots of fun because you can zoom around like you could in Saints Row 4. But the story. There is no campaign at all. It's all mission based, which is kind of already been done in Saints Row 4 and Saints Row 3. So I think if you're looking for a story in the DLC, and obviously it's DLC, so it shouldn't be a massive campaign, you might be disappointed. Well, I was twitching the other night, and a couple of people who were in the chat room on the Twitch channel, they were asking me, "Are you playing missions?" And I had to say, "Well, not really. It's all loyalty. It's all loyalty quests, really." And there's not that much dialogue. But when you go back to each of the characters, like the twins and so on, there's not that much dialogue either. So you might find that some players are disappointed by the narrative aspect, but it's all about the fun. And there's some really good fun games in there. The wings are great fun to fly around with and so on. So I think if you're a massive Saints Row 4 fan, which you are, get it for the completionism, and it's still hilarious. And there's one bit that's absolutely hilarious that I was gobsmacked with. I don't want to spoil it, but I'll just use the word Disney. You missed that, didn't you?
No, well, I know what it is. But because I love the first bit in Saints Row 4 with when you're jumping onto the rocket ship, when you're jumping onto the nuke, and it's playing the music in the background is which song?
I can't remember.
I don't want to miss a thing. So you're flying up in space with on a rocket, trying to build with Aerosmith blaring out.
Oh yeah.
And that's the thing, and they do use music very well.
And
you can't deny they use music very well in that game.
Saying
You denied it last time. You said that GTA 5 has got better music. I think
depends on your point of
they
view.
have got better music.
They've got cooler music,
but
not better use
Saints
of music.
Row, Saints Row use their music a hell of a lot better.
Yeah.
I think.
And I still think that the Get Out of Hell DLC has got that sort of the draw of the humour and just sheer unabashed fun that you don't get in some games that take themselves a bit seriously.
The way I think this is going to end up is in the summer when it does get warmer, there's going to be a mud wrestling match. Whether it's GTA 5 or Saints Row.
We'll definitely be filming. We'll definitely be filming that. We'll definitely be filming that.
And I will not be partaking.
Take Healy's
Yeah,
time.
you've got a nice big roaring fire. I'll do the Oliver Reed. I'll just,
I'll go and get the pig fat, mate.
yeah.
Rub it all over.
You better not get too close to the fire then.
Take Healy's time.
Yeah, it'll be a cracker.
Okay, so we're going to go to the next round of cards. So I get by with a little help from a bag of magic beans. I get by with a little help from wiping her bum. I get by with a little help from a brain tumour.
I know which one's my favourite.
Yeah, I'm going for wiping her bum.
Really?
I just like the word bum.
That's me.
Steve,
Well done, Steve. Well done.
Steve, you don't play poker often, do you? Just saying. Every time it's your card, you can tell it's your card.
Yeah.
Good.
Sorry, there you go, Steve. So now it's Steve's turn, because he won that last round.
Any other games people been playing? Apart from Cards Against Humanity, of course.
Candy Crush.
Got it, actually, Candy Crush. Seriously. No. Seriously, because you've been playing the new Soda one, haven't you?
Yeah.
So,
What soda?
Do you actually prefer Soda? Candy Crush Soda.
Soda.
S-O-D-A.
Candy Crush.
That's an American word for fizzy drink, isn't it?
Yes.
What's the difference in that? I mean, I don't know.
This is what I'm asking.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Yeah.
The
God. So this is completely putting.
Have you played the
spotlight.
original one?
yes.
Yes.
So you do know the difference?
Yes.
Yes. Come on.
Is there more bubbles?
They are different rules to the games, and there's a lot more ways of making candy in order to assist you
Right.
to complete
So,
the level.
How do you make? What is making candy? Because that sounds
Sounds
could
a bit
be
dodgy, isn't it?
euphemism.
Could be one of the answers on here, couldn't it, actually?
Making candy.
Could be one of the answers.
Mm.
It's just like
Okay.
What?
Yeah, right.
it's. I can see you doing it. It's just like what was that old game we used to play?
Tetris.
Tetris. In relation
But
to
it's more like columns.
that's the one.
Yep.
Where you have to four in a row makes a stripe.
So it's colour
Four
coded.
in a block makes a fish. What a
God,
fish
that
has got.
sounds terribly complicated.
And then if you mix the candies together, it does different powers and therefore assists you in.
So if anyone who had a Game Gear, just think of columns. Or anyone
Right.
who's in a Sega fan, just think of columns.
I'm sorry,
Right.
I don't know no one who doesn't play Candy Crush.
Yes.
I've never played it. I've never played Candy Crush.
Oh my God, you've never played
Candy
I've actually stayed away from it.
We're
because it's so
we're
popular.
proper gamers. You see.
Yeah, I play Crossy Bone.
That was the game I was going to talk about next.
I'm sorry, I need a game that I can play with one hand whilst feeding the baby with the other.
Yeah, I quite like games I can play with one hand as well, actually.
That could be an answer to this game as well.
They are very short games.
So, Cards Against Cards Against Humanity, if you want to hire us to write your English version,
Yeah.
away you go.
Right.
But seriously,
Oh,
which would you prefer?
what, the soda or
Best-
the original?
best
Yeah.
game.
Soda.
There you go.
Is it because it's just more? There's more to it.
So,
There's more to it. There's more. Yeah, I can't remember what level I got to at Candy Crush original. I was like in the 200s or
and should
something.
we tell this horrible story about why you nearly cried about that game? Because you missed the press event for it.
Oh yeah.
So, does the Soda game, is it a free-to-play game?
Yes.
And so do you still get the annoying sort of pay 50p to speed up this and that, or do you find you're happy to play it completely free all the time?
The good thing is because I'm doing it via Facebook, all my Facebook friends have it. Therefore, if I run out of lives, I just Facebook, I need more
Is
lives.
that how it works?
And therefore, they'll send me some.
What is the, if that happens, it's King, isn't it? It's a King game.
Yeah.
Yes.
King Owl. How does King make its money out of you?
Because you haven't got a lot of friends.
Nothing out of me.
If you haven't got a lot of friends on Facebook, you have to buy.
Right, so if you're a sad loner with no friends on Facebook, they
It costs-
rinse you for cash.
Yes.
Okay, humanity is, that's it. Humanity is at
That
its
could be
lowest.
the answer.
Yeah.
Haiku, Candy Crush,
God.
the winner.
Okay, Steve, gone. Now that I'm completely depressed about it. Jesus.
Yeah, this
Wait
will
a
be
minute.
more depressing.
This is coming from the man who bought and still plays Destiny. Rest my case,
I don't actually. I haven't played it this year at all.
Best game of the year.
I haven't played it since 2014. Carry on. I think.
Champion.
What did the US airdrop to the children of Afghanistan?
Oh. Oh.
That's terrible. That's really bad. Don't mix them up, please.
What game were you going to talk about? Posse or something?
Crossy Road, yeah.
Crossy Road. Oh, my mate's got like 320 on it.
Jeez.
I know, exactly. It's like, what?
What is your high score?
It's only about, I think I've got 120.
Oh, right, I'm not taking mine then. Much less than that.
Right.
Let's choose.
What did the US airdrop to the children of Afghanistan? Chunks of dead hitchhiker. What did the US airdrop to the children of Afghanistan? Trench foot. And what did the US airdrop to the children of Afghanistan? Landmines. I'm going for landmines.
That's me. I'm the sick bastard to put that one down. Which end is it against, isn't it?
Enter put it in when you finished.
So this end to take.
Yeah.
Right.
What, are you the official giver?
Yes.
What
So
end
you
have I got to
can
put
give, but you can't take. Is that what you're saying?
Don't be so rude.
No, okay.
No, I don't want that. Yeah.
Well, you always keep to 10 even if you
Yeah.
the cards are.
Wouldn't it be even 5?
No, because there's choice. It's not as funny.
Oh,
Yeah.
And plus, if I had only 5 of these, it would be pants.
Alternative medicine is now embracing the curative powers of. So I'd like to talk about Crossy Road.
that was easy. No, I know which one.
Oh, God, okay. Crossy Road is an iPhone and potentially Android app. I haven't checked with Android.
Go on the Android.
It's already is it Android as well?
I don't know.
You don't know.
Just say go on the Android.
Could you just check for me? You just got your drink there, right?
No, I didn't.
Steve and I, we both played Crossy Road, haven't we?
Yes.
We both played Crossy Road. Crossy Road is a modern reimagining of Frogger.
Do you mean it's basically just Frogger?
I think it's infinite Frogger,
yeah,
isn't it?
yes,
it's infinite Frogger.
yeah.
You never really.
And it's
So
not the same thing every time.
It's not. No, it's quite clever. It looks really good. It's kind of like
By Yodo One Games.
Yeah, it's on Android as well. Thanks, Paul.
Oh, it's a chicken.
What?
Not just the chicken.
No, you've got
Hundreds of characters. So you've got this. You've got to cross various obstacles.
Like that.
It could be road. It could be.
It looks like Minecraft.
Yeah, that's it. As I was trying to say.
No, what? Let her review it from just the Android thing and see just from the App Store.
Best character is the cockroach, but that's just.
I know. I like the unicorn that shits rainbows. Yeah. So you are a character, and you have to hop across roads and she's downloaded already. Roads. It's a free app. Roads, rivers, train tracks, log flumes, just like Frogger.
Do you buy characters?
Hold on, let me finish. And you tap to make the character jump one jump, and you can swipe left and right to make them move sideways as well. And you've got to make your way across all these obstacles infinitely. And as you make your way across, in the sort of vein of Flappy Birds, you get a point for every jump that you successfully cross. Okay?
Yes.
That's the incentive. However, as you move across, you can earn coins by jumping on certain objects which have coins on them. It randomly gives you prizes after a certain time. So you wait, I think it's every 4 or 5 hours you get a free gift.
Yeah.
You've also got one of those sort of one-armed selection machines, so you can win a random gift as well. But if it sometimes just gives you a new character, so you can change your character. You start off as a chicken, I think, and then you can be a unicorn or a badger or whatever. Every so often they give you really cool characters, and it changes the entire look of the landscape you're jumping across. So every landscape is themed for the character, and they're timed. But sometimes they're timed, and then you lose them again. And then it says to you, "Would you like to buy this character for 79p?" And that's the you can either buy coins to buy more characters. Than
I
you
just
can
want a
buy.
pubic louse.
Paul wants a pubic louse.
I tell you what,
Hold on, mate. Hold on.
No, that's
Every game should have a pubic louse character.
It's a bus stop game. It's very addictive. It's very addictive, isn't it?
Yes.
It's very addictive. It looks lovely.
So
Little bit
addictive, she's
character,
just started playing it.
Yeah.
Come back next week to see if it could beat Candy Crush. This is the big question of our gaming
But it's
lives.
got a little bit of character. I mean, the Frankenstein character is black and white.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And it's
And the landscape goes black.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very
Does it
clever.
have dodgy trees? Like with the,
It
like
has-
the idea of they always have spooky trees, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got you a free gift.
Hey.
You get. I found at the beginning of the game they threw three. They actually chucked free gifts at you to get you hooked.
So the question mark is it crack?
Yes.
Yeah. You've got
Yeah, it is.
195.
And you have what you can do every so often if you get splattered, right? It sort of generates like a little Polaroid photograph of your accident as well, which you can then tweet.
Yeah, that's
and so on.
funny. But what's
So we're all playing it right now.
Funny pictures too.
I can't download it. I've got no memory left on my phone.
Can you
So,
use a tablet
yeah.
instead?
Yeah.
I'll use that tablet.
Also, you've got to be careful because I think the screen is shifting up as you move.
Yeah.
If you stay too long in one area, you get wiped out in various and interesting ways. And you have leaderboards for your friends, and
So it's basically just Ultimate Frogger.
it's really good. And also, I noticed if you play landscape, you can see more of your obstacles coming left and right, so you can guess them. But then you can't see what's ahead of you. If you play portrait, you can. So there's even the orientation of the game is quite clever, I think. So Crossy Road, it's free. It's free. It's free to get.
That's what you get. You get the.
Yeah.
You do that. Then
Free
you
to
get
get,
the-
free to play, but pay.
But you know, I don't play often enough for it to be an issue because I every time I play, I get free gifts because it's only sort of £5-6.
Pay to upgrade is quite a good idea.
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't mind pay to
But
upgrade. You don't need to pay,
but
but
no.
the in-game stuff. So.
and a lot of it. I mean, most of the things you buy are cosmetic.
You can choose to
Taking the
be a
face
certain
hugger,
character.
that would be cool.
Depending
Face
on what
hugger.
you open.
From aliens.
Yeah, we
You
don't
just
suggest
pick
it too much.
random and it'll do a random one for you every time.
Yeah,
Cool.
Anyway,
So Steve and John have successfully hooked another person onto their track.
there you go. That's Crossy Road.
And then away we go. Just Steve, John.
Okay,
At least
so-
it's not me playing the pet game.
Alternative medicine is now
Pet
embracing the curative powers of being a motherfucking sorcerer. Okay. Alternative medicine is now embracing the curative powers of farting and walking away. This last one's my favourite, I think.
Steve.
Alternative medicine is now embracing the curative powers of being a dick to children. Yeah, that's the one. Who's that?
Steve again.
Oh my god. Right, that needs to go back.
We all know who the champion of this game is.
Or the luckiest one gets
That's
the
the lucky
funniest. So have you given out some more cards? Yeah.
Cool. Oh my god. What am I giving up for Lynn?
There's so many that would work here. Oh dear, which one's it going to be though?
So, have we played any other games, or should
Oh,
we
that's
move on
funny.
to watch?
That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah, I haven't played any other games actually.
Have I played any other games? I have actually. I've been playing some more Nidhogg. Nidhogg. I love that game. Have you played Nidhogg?
No.
Have you played Nidhogg?
No, I haven't played
It's not a new game. It's been out on PC for a while. It came to PS4 just before Christmas, I think. Maybe a bit earlier. And I was being a bit of a
So, sloppy seconds is what you say.
sloppy seconds, yeah. I was being a bit of a skinflint. I mean, I did buy it on PC. I never went to play it on PC because it was in the Steam sale for a couple of quid at the time. I was being a bit of a skinflint. I wanted to play it on PS4 so I could play it with other people in the room. It's a two-player. You can play it local two-player, and you can also play it online, I think, now as well. And essentially, it's a retro. Yes, please. It's a retro. For those people listening, we're just pouring another drink. It's a retro jousting game.
We haven't talked about this.
I think we have talked.
Yeah, we talked about it last month.
But I played more of it. But I've discovered how subtle the controls are, and how you can actually how well balanced they are, even if you haven't got a sword and the other guy has. I've had
You
fun with it.
remote play it. Have you tried?
Well, you don't need to. Because we're trying to cover up the sound of a dog over there, failing miserably. You don't need to because it's cross-buy on Vita.
Okay, but what I'm asking, have you tried it?
I haven't, no.
No. Just,
I might try
or
it.
just cross play?
It's cross-save as well.
Do you play against people on PS4?
Yes, you can play against people online, or you can play against an AI.
As in, if you're on the Vita, can you play against people on the PS4? Yeah, this is really, we apologise.
I don't know. I haven't tried it.
Bit of audio disruption.
So what? If I'm in the room with the Vita and someone's in the room with the PS4,
I'm not very
I don't know. I don't know. I'll have to test these things out.
Okay.
It's very
Do
simple.
that.
Very simple. Very fun. I will. So yeah, cool. Right.
That'd be cool.
And I have also been playing some more Disney Infinity with my daughter. She couldn't play with her Spider-Man and Nova playset over Christmas because the PSN hack, or the DDoS from Lizard Squad, meant that even without an internet connection, we couldn't get into Disney Infinity.
Which is
It
a
links-
slight foreign into.
It is, because it links to your Disney account, you
Yeah.
see, and it wouldn't even go to the loading screen, which was a real pain.
You
Because
didn't think about the children that were hurt.
no, she got the present, couldn't play it.
Apparently
actually-
they were supposed to play with their parents.
Yeah.
rather than play games. That's-
Yeah, we were supposed to play games with our children.
Well, yeah.
Some people like to play games with their children.
Yeah. I have to say, I reviewed the starter set, which had the Merida and the Lilo and Stitch character, Stitch, and you couldn't play with the two-player co-op with those characters because they didn't have a mutual world to play in. You could play, you could swap them around in their respective worlds, but you couldn't play split screen two-player. However, you can with Spider-Man and Nova, and so we've spent most of our time recently playing split screen in a city, or the Spider-Man style city. It's got the Oscorp Tower in it and other things, and it's actually got Tony Stark's tower in the distance that you can't get to unless you've got the other set. So you can see it though, but when you try and go towards it, it sets you back
back in.
back to the sort of unstoppable boundary. But it's
Or a tease, basically.
so much fun because you've got this open world with missions to do, which lead you to the sewers as well, which is the sort of the croc, and well, actually it's Goblin that you're chasing around most of the time. But it's just so much fun, and it's very accessible for my daughter who plays it as well. She's got really used to using the control now, and she plays as Spider-Man, and I play as Nova. And because Nova can fly, and she can't, I can help her in some of the sections where she just can't get up with her webs, and she hasn't got enough unlocked skills. So it's nice sort of co-op play. I do most of the puzzle solving for her, and she gets scared of the boss fight, so I take over. But it's just mooching around in the city and playing, flying around on the shield flying cars and things. She just loves it, and it's lots of fun. Really, really cool.
Also,
Really
Zach loves Hulk and Iron Man because they're his two favourites. But we've got the Avengers pack for the PC.
Yeah,
It's strange because you don't need the models; you can buy the
Characters.
which is good. Which is good in some ways, but they also give you free characters today, which is handy.
right.
But he does absolutely love that game, and that's, I think Infinity is a great.
It is a great product. There's actually some coins you can collect in the city which unlock Hulk.
Yeah.
But I think it unlocks Hulk being able to join you.
Yeah.
It doesn't unlock Hulk the character itself, I don't think.
Well, I think because we got Rocket, you can unlock Rocket and Nova,
You can.
and you can do set missions with special missions. With
So maybe they're
So-
available
so-
for
no, so
limited time.
I think it's inside that pack you get an extra mission as well.
Right, I
But
see.
you got to get to that point,
No.
and then they join you for one mission, which is basically like this is how cool his character is.
Gets you hooked
And
again.
end up you.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, my daughter prefers just cocking about in the city and flying around and just, she loves mayhem where you join each other to destroy as much of the city as possible for points.
Yeah, that's.
And you get tiers, silver, gold, bronze, silver.
Yeah.
She loves that. She just wants breaking things. in the
Hulk
city.
is the best person.
Yeah, well, I know it's pretty good when you powered him up, but Hulk's pretty good as
Just
well.
been able to run through things.
Yeah. So it's a great game, and I will probably, when I get around to it, write a little mini review of those characters and their ability sets in the game world. So, yeah.
I'm looking forward to is if they put Spider-Gwen into it.
Yeah.
Because that's a female.
Yeah, and
Spider-Man
actually,
in
I
the
would like that as well. She
That
would
would
like
be
that.
cool.
Yeah. Ooh.
Geeky question.
Yeah.
Invalid download URL. What?
Are you in L?
URL.
You are what?
L.
I don't know. Is that an Android phone?
I'm trying to download that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what Android. Right. Okay. So, what was the phrase?
Oh,
The
no.
phrase was, "What am I giving up for Lent?" What am I giving up for Lent?
Not enough space. on the device.
Walking up to a half. Oh, sorry. Right, I'll do that again. What am I giving up for Lent? Waking up half naked in a Little Chef car park. What am I giving up for Lent? Elderly Japanese men. What am I giving up for Lent? An ugly face.
That might have been targeted straight to his face.
I think I'll go for elderly Japanese men.
Thank you very much.
It's the only person that doesn't work for as well. Okay, that was fun.
No. Oh dear. Today on the Jeremy Kyle Show, help, my son is. I know what one I'd pick on the line.
Actually, no, that one doesn't work. I just realised
This one sort of works.
that one.
Okay.
That's the worst one that I can choose.
Should we move on to watch?
We shall.
Shall we? What have you watched?
I've been watching Scandal, which Chris talked about quite a few episodes ago.
Do you mean his American cousin did?
No, he talked about it.
Right.
This was when he could talk, I think.
Right.
Because it was on UK Network.
Okay.
Now TV.
Okay.
So Now TV is quite good. So the reason I'm watching Scandal is because of the lady sitting to my right. Because she watches it, which means if she's watching it, so do I.
What's it about?
Quick little briefing. They're a troubleshooting firm who,
Right.
basically a PR firm who, whenever someone gets in trouble, they go to them to try to iron out their problems.
Right.
Oh, no. Right, no. I was thinking that was a bit like that. Yeah, sorry, carry on. I'm trying to think the name of the other show.
Okay. But literally, they come with these quite random problems at the beginning. It's very much like they get a South American dictator comes to try to sort out his problems when his wife's trying to jump the country to leave, come to America and stuff like that. But it's getting very, it's all tied up in the White House. Very, very political.
Right.
It's quite good. It just keeps on getting. There's some characters in there who are absolutely great. There's one called Huck, who is my absolute favourite.
Is he a known actor that we all know?
No.
He's not.
No, it's not very. The only actor I know from it is the guy from Ghost.
Patrick Swayze.
No.
He's dead, isn't he?
Yes. That's what I know.
That's versatile acting.
Yeah. No, it's the guy who he's the one who spoiler for Ghost. It's the one who ends up setting up Sam Wheat so he dies.
Oh yeah.
So don't know who his name is.
The dude that gets killed, spoiler, by the falling pane of glass.
Yes, spoiler. Because
Spoiler from 1981.
well, it's in 90 actually, but anyway. So it's quite a good film.
That's good knowledge.
Bit of Demi Moore. Anyway, so anyway, but it's quite a good show. I think there's 4 seasons on Now TV at the moment. It does take a little bit of time to get together, but because it's that short vignettes of each thing, it's quite good. But overarching, there's a larger story which does basically span the 4 seasons. So it's not bad.
First 3 anyway.
Would I watch it if it was my choice? No. Probably not.
But Chris really enjoys it.
Yes. Chris does really enjoy it.
Okay then.
Have you ever known Chris not like him?
No, most of the time he just says, "Fucking hell! Fucking hell! Fucking hell! I need this, DIS.
Yes.
I might come from Scotland and be white, but I'm still going to talk like a gangster. I need this! Fucking hell, it's so good!" So yeah, take his critiques and look at yourself in that respect.
But it is quite.
Sorry, baby.
It is quite good, but it's worth watching. But if you haven't got anything else to watch, Game of Thrones is still better. Penny Dreadful.
April 15th, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, The Strain.
Straight, yeah.
Even though they're all completely different types of shows.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, none of those beat The Good Wife.
We can talk about A Good Wife if you'd like to.
I don't want to. I'm just saying you can't beat The
What
Good
have you
Wife.
been watching, Steve?
I've just finished watching The Stalker.
Is that a film or a series?
It's a series.
Right.
Hang on, let me just see who's on it.
Steve says has his t-shirt saying movie quotes. It's not true. He
It's
just has a
Stephen- yeah,
phone
that's-
with
that's
IMDb.
It's Maggie Q and Dylan McDermott.
Oh, I like Maggie Q.
Yeah. And it's just a pair of detectives investigating stalkers in Los Angeles, and it's really, really good. It's just
Where
come
can
up
you
to
watch it?
Is
it on Netflix? Is it
yeah,
on
no,
Amazon
it's on
Prime?
Sky. It could be
Sky.
I think it's mainly on Sky now. At
Is
the
it a
moment.
box set?
It's just come to a mid-season break.
Right.
now,
So it's long.
How many in a season? Is it 12 or 24 episodes in a season?
I would think.
It's a mid-season break. It must be 12.
It's 15.
15. I can never keep track of their numbers.
Yeah, 15.
Right. Okay.
So just dipping into mini.
Is it good? Is it good?
It's very good. It's very good. It's good acting. I mean, I haven't really seen Dylan McDermott since he done the Clint Eastwood film, the one where he's U.S. president's.
You're talking about In the Line of Fire.
In the Line of Fire, that's it, yeah. And he looks quite young in that now, because that was on TV a little while back. But yeah, they all play their part really good. They're all well cast, and it's quite creepy, some of the bits. You do still get that little bit of why are you running up the stairs and then out the door, but not in every episode. So
we say stalkers, is it violent stalkers?
No, there was a couple of violent episodes, but it's not violent all the time. It's more
Oh,
psychological
creepy.
as well. Because
Oh, cool.
stalkers could just be there to I'm here, in which case, it's like,
Yeah.
what?
That's good. So that's a bit
when
different.
you're by the window every time, I'm sort of getting dressed.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird, especially because
It's just a hot breath
Yeah,
against
and
the
you-
window,
yeah.
isn't it? Yeah.
And you haven't got, and you haven't got the, when he hasn't got the ladder, it's just, come on, lactic acid, building up.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes. I have been watching Attack on Titan. Is that quite an old series?
Yeah.
Excuse me, I'm just bending.
Attack.
Oh, I was like,
Okay, it's getting a little bit physical over here.
What should you do with the hands? What should you do with that?
Wait, that's my wife. Carly, don't touch my wife.
Attack on Titan. I'm not au fait with it, but it is completely mental. It's
Never watched it.
Never watched it. It's an anime. I don't know anything about it. I don't know the artist, but it is just the most bizarre concept for a story. Do you know anything about Attack on Titan?
no.
I think Phil does, doesn't he? Yeah. So it's this village or this city of people, and it's kind of set in. It seems like sort of a medieval style village, but the village or the city has this massive tall wall around it, and they are imprisoned. The entire city, entire civilization in a city is trapped by this massive wall, and outside the wall are massive, naked, flesh-eating giants,
say Amazon women.
or titans, essentially. And the story sort of introduces you to a character who wants to be in this sort of army called scouts, who are like some of these ninjas, but not really. Who are the only sort of resistance against these giants, and they only want to go beyond the walls. They're a bit like Game of Thrones, the Black Card, aren't they? The Black Watch.
He's looking at you and me.
I was thinking, you mean the Night's Watch?
The Night's Watch. Yes.
Yeah, so she's wondering, how are you talking for what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're the ones that sort of venture beyond the walls, and some don't never come back, and some come back dead or injured.
George R. R. Martin,
Yeah.
off merchant.
Yeah, but it's with the opening. You know, the opening show had a sort of a montage of these scouts when they're fighting. They have these weird sort of flying knife things and like attached to braces around their waist. It looks just really a really interesting, unique concept, and the dialogue is quite strange, and the story is quite strange, and it's just at points horrifically gruesome. And so you know straight away this is not for children. It's just a very, very bizarre. You know, it's quite it's got the same sort of production values as Dogtanian in some respects. You know, a lot of the animations are not even moving; they are static images where the camera just pans across them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you can tell its age, but it's a really interesting idea that I'm watching more of.
So this is manga anime.
I think it's anime, could be manga. I think it's anime. I think
We're
manga's
just
comics.
basically just
Japanese.
made lots of people very, very angry. We do apologise.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
A
A little bit of
yeah.
a little bit of
We're
Ignorance.
cretins,
Ignorance.
we're cretins, I know.
yes, we've created a
And there's something else I've been watching as well, which I really enjoyed. Well, I've forgotten what it was. No, it wasn't.
Why don't we answer?
It wasn't the $6
No,
million
no,
man, Steve.
Why don't we answer the next question?
Yeah, let's move on.
And
If
then
I remember, I'll tell you.
I'll leave it on there, so it's
Okay,
ready
yeah,
for you to.
Okay. Was it rude? Okay, whose go was it?
Right, do you remember what card you put down?
No,
Right.
Yeah.
no, I don't.
Today on the Jeremy Kyle Show, help, my son is the female orgasm. Today on the Jeremy Kyle Show,
Non-existent.
help, my
Keep
son
yourself.
is Lady Gaga. Today on the Jeremy Kyle Show, help, my son is inserted a
Steve has won.
I say, my son, what?
help, my son is inserting a mason jar into my anus. Well done, Steve.
It wasn't me.
Well done.
I just chose the rudest one. But
I haven't got any really.
I've not got any
obnoxious
rude cards
ones.
at all.
What's going on? I want some obnoxious stuff. Oh, for God's sake, come on.
oh, right, okay, we go. There was something else I watched that was really good. What was it?
That good? Doesn't know what it is.
Was it oh no, that was it. I remember. I was just trawling through Amazon Prime because Amazon Instant Video, but I'm a Prime member, so you get some of the content for free. And I realised I'd never seen Riddick. Have you seen Riddick?
The Chronicles of Riddick.
No, not the Chronicles of Riddick.
New one.
Riddick, the most recent one.
No.
Which
I haven't seen the other one.
which is a follow-on. Have you seen the Chronicles of Riddick?
No. Just sit down.
Which part of no do you not
How do I
know?
explain-
Or the O?
How are you? They're very rude, aren't they? How do I explain the plot to you without spoiling? Steve, can you explain the plot, Riddick? without spoiling. Are you intending to watch it?
No, ask Steve.
Are you?
Ask Steve.
Oh yeah, true. Spoiler, dude. Are you intending to ever watch the Chronicles of Riddick?
No.
Right.
Well, just the end.
So-
I think it's the end and the explanation.
The aim of in the Chronicles of Riddick is this sort of he's a criminal, isn't he? He's a very savage criminal with interesting eyes that were. He lived his entire life in sort of catacombs, didn't he, as a child? Sort of a ruffian.
I thought he had done it in prison or something.
Well,
Not in that prison,
when he was
but
in some
yeah.
prison that essentially he was in dark for so long, his eyes became too sensitive to light, but his eyes became sensitive to dark. He could see in the dark like a bat can do an owl. And
Nobody's listening to him.
No, we just worked out that two of us need to use the loo, but the toilet is right above our heads.
I think if I can pace out my description rightly, we could intersperse it with comedy flashes, couldn't we?
We're worried about the flow.
Right, yeah.
Carry on. Sorry, Joe.
Basically, in Chronicles of Riddick, he is a prisoner with special eyesight due to him being in darkness for a long time, and the long and short of it, if he fights the king of the bad dudes, he becomes the king of the bad dudes. You get what you kill, don't you?
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah.
So at the end of the Chronicles of Riddick, he wins, and it's Carl Urban who he kills. He's the king of the bad dudes. Well, Carl Urban's his nemesis. Him or Carl, if they win, whoever wins becomes the king.
Yeah, because
this is Vin Diesel in the third one.
Yeah, Vin Diesel. Yeah. And so Riddick wins. And the end of the film's great because he sits down there and they're all bowing down to him. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I said to him, well, "How can I explain without spoiling?" He's not intending to watch it. It's been around for a while, I'm going to say.
As we've always said, we are backwards.
We are backwards to yeah. So at the end of the film, it's a great scene, isn't it? Because he suddenly realises, shit, I'm now in charge of an entire culture. And you see him sitting at the end, like this, going, like that, isn't he? Basically,
yeah.
And that's the beginning of Riddick, essentially. But it's quite clever because it's a flashback, that scene. You see Riddick wake up on a planet, and he's all broken to bits and bleeding. And I thought the first hour of the film was the most interesting part.
I did like it.
Really interesting, really different
Yeah,
pace and theme to the original, the other films.
But he went back to sort of Pitch Black, where it was just him.
Pitch Black's brilliant film.
And I think that was because that came out of that was
Years ago.
Does anyone take it? Isn't there a game?
Yeah,
Yes.
they're very,
It's
very good.
very good.
It's very good. Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did like the third one.
Yeah, I mean, I like the scene where he thought he was on Fury, but he wasn't, was he?
Yeah.
And it is still Vin Diesel.
It's still,
It's
and
still-
actually, look, people give Vin Diesel a lot. They sort of tar him with the same brush as Dwayne Johnson and people like that.
Wait, no. Dwayne Rock Johnson is a great
Yeah, I
actor.
know. But what I'm saying is, critically, they're not seen as the De Niro's of our time, are they? They're seen as the popcorn film action dudes.
The hero's not seen as the Rock of our time.
Well,
in my opinion.
Yeah, okay. But what I'm saying is, I think Vin Diesel, it's obviously his character. He does it really well, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I liked it, even his smaller character. I mean, I liked him in Saving Private Ryan. You know, he done a nice little bit in that, and it's yeah. I think he's had a hard because he's done the Fast and Furious, and I must admit, I don't mind them sort of films. When 7 comes out, I'm going to get the box set because I would like to see the whole lot.
Is that the last one? It is.
Well, I presume it's going to be because they used Paul Walker's brother to try and do some other shots just to finish it off.
Right,
So I presume it's going to be the last one
with Paul
with the
Walker.
original, with the original.
Probably get Marky on it for the next one.
That's what I'm saying. Black with all these films.
But I think.
Would you both recommend watching it?
Riddick.
Yes.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, would you both recommend you can jump straight into Riddick, or do you think you should watch Chronicles? Or do you reckon
I think you should watch
Pitch
in order.
Chronicles?
Yeah,
watch it in order.
because it refers to characters in Pitch Black, which I completely forgot about. I had to go back and check it on the DVD.
Yeah.
And adds closure in some respects to some of the characters' sort of histories from Pitch Black, doesn't it?
Because
So it's not a film; it's a series. Is what you're saying.
Yeah.
But Riddick is enjoyable as a film its own. And if you had no idea what they're referring to from Pitch Black, it wouldn't matter, I don't think.
No. One thing that annoyed me was I wanted to get the box set, but the box set didn't have Riddick in it. It had 1 and 2, and then the cartoon.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what happened in the cartoon, but I don't know if you need that to bridge the gap between any sequence
Maybe.
of films. I can't remember.
They must bring out. Is it different distributor then? Is it different?
Yeah.
different
Oh, it could be, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Right.
right. That's usually what it is.
Okay. But yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I definitely recommend it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who's it?
Your turn.
Oh, I wondered. No.
You've got to read it.
Have you given me the cards yet?
No, you
No,
haven't read
because
it
I'm
yet.
ready yet. Have I? I have played this game before, you know, folks. I can't remember. I can't remember.
Hasn't even
You
finished.
I
never
can't
know.
remember for one.
Hasn't
No,
finished
I thought I had.
Oh, that's finished a bit.
Yeah.
So.
What gives me uncontrollable gas? That was quick, Paul.
Quick on draw.
Now, as you can see from the way we're playing this, folks, or here, this game does go on forever, or until you use all the cards up. So we can decide at some point, maybe after read.
That's the plan. Well done, Sharp. Oh my God, it's
I'm glad I
like...
came along tonight.
Yeah. It's almost like you don't know our format.
I know.
Which should we start from, Steve?
I like to keep it fresh each time.
Exciting.
Oh dear, oh dear. What gives me uncontrollable gas? Grandma. What gives me uncontrollable gas? My sex life. No comment. What gives me uncontrollable gas? Me time.
Not the best of us. Fortunately, this was
Shovel the
offensive.
car.
Yeah.
What's
Depends-
already offensive?
Depends which cards you get.
Cards.
Do you think they just make them nicer?
Should we
because
give
it's
myself
English?
another 10 because my lot?
But we'll just swap them out, but I'll take 10 more.
Yeah, got it.
I am because my lot.
Yeah, I don't mind,
rubbish.
yeah. It's my sex life. There we go. Whoever got that card? Steve.
Yeah,
That's the best of a bad bunch.
I'm now going to
I'm all right, mate.
Steve's wife to play that wife.
I'm alright with mine.
Do you want to
So
do
that's
5?
our fifth player.
Do you want to do 5 or do you want to
I
split
should
the
do
whole
10.
10?
Yeah, do it.
So you're swapping only 10 out, are you? I'm not sure that's in the rules, but we'll do it for the sake of
This is
hilarity.
Only
Yeah.
because I do actually have.
But that one is, there's a rule for that one.
Thank you.
So this- why John goes on to that. Is anyone any other? I've got one. I've got one as well. No, that's just the back of the pants.
You go, so
I guess you've got the same cards from before, have you?
I've got all exactly the same.
Yeah, they'll go after. Oh,
Okay. Any other? Let's see. Now these are better. These are all better. Every single one of these is better.
Yeah, I've only got one done.
Okay. I've got a couple that I will not use, in any way, shape, or form, but they're a lot better. So, any other watches?
trying to think.
I'm watching more House, but
Oh, House.
it's a great game, a great program, really, really good.
When did we watch it from the beginning?
Yeah. I mean, we were watching on Netflix.
We could talk about House all day, all
Yeah.
night. We could do 4 or 5.
You know, I think it's. I mean, we're still in the first series, and we've got to about 4 or 5 episodes after the trillionaire guy comes in with his investment and wanting to change and get rid of House, and that's nice. I think that's added an extra element of tension and interest in the story. What I don't like about Netflix is it shows you like an overview of the characters in its banner of the most recent episodes, and you can see who's going and who's coming from that. I think that's a bit of a shame that it gives that away.
And also the blurb is rubbish.
Yeah.
Whoever writes those blurbs should be sacked.
Sometimes they're wrong as well. When they are wrong, they're hilarious.
Yeah.
It's like Netflix against humanity. But basically, Becca and I sit there trying to guess what's wrong with the person, and I generally get it right, and she gets it wrong.
That's what we do.
I'm sure that's what everyone does, and that's the lure of it. I think we enjoy that, and it's kind of like when we watch Elementary, trying to guess what's going on there.
See, we bought the box set.
Right.
So we watched the extras, and what I loved about it was that Brian Singer's the producer on it, and he directed the first episode, and he said
He was in it, wasn't he, as himself?
Yeah, but he also said it's really great the fact that we hired an American actor. When he saw Hugh Laurie's
CV.
his
It's
video,
true.
his interview,
His screen test, yeah.
Screen test. He said it's really great because we wanted an American, and then they showed him Ginger Worcester. Which, to be honest, is the most.
So he thought
He's
he was American.
That's what he said. Which obviously means he wasn't a Friends fan. You never watched Hugh Laurie in there, but I just thought that was amazing. But again, Hugh Laurie in it is absolutely amazing.
He's very, very
It
good.
just shows the fact that he has got range.
Yeah.
It gets crazy towards the end, and it is brilliant.
Well, I know from when it was
Have you
popular
never
at the
seen any
time.
of it?
Never seen it before until we started watching it.
Oh my god.
I know from when it was popular, it just came out that he completely loses it at some point.
No comment.
So
Spoil up.
yeah, but I'm looking. Well, I mean, I'm aware of that because I've caught up with it a long time since. But I'm looking forward to that happening. I also I used to follow a video podcast type thing called Geek Beat many years ago, which became Geek Brief all the way around. I think maybe Geek Brief with a presenter called Callie Lewis, and it was about gadgets. And she went on set of the House set They filmed one episode completely with a Canon SLR that can take videos.
Yeah.
And I think that's really interesting that filmmakers are taking that risk of filming some just like one-off shows in a different special way. I'm looking forward to seeing that episode.
That was the only thing about the pilot, because the pilot has a very soft light.
Right.
It's
sort of Vaseline edge.
Yeah, and I was looking at it, it actually looked quite interesting, but then it stopped that. It was only the gold episode. But the reason was, this was the end of the first episode. If you do watch the first episode, I apologise.
What's that?
The pilot.
Yeah. Why is it a spoiler?
Because I used the proper... Okay.
I missed that.
Don't worry. We'll go through that. Once she's finished, we'll go through why that was a spoiler.
Okay, thank you.
But again, it's just been colour change. And I thought that was quite interesting, but they never did that again.
Right.
So it did seem one of those things where they just did it as a test, which is quite cool. Still, okay.
Whose go is it?
Steve's.
Steve.
Is it? Oh, right.
Read out the comment then, please, Steve.
Okay, here we go. War. What is it good for?
Oh dear. We're entering the realms of offence now, I think.
Yes, I do believe so. So, I think we'll move swiftly on to read.
Yeah.
See, that's the favourite part of our that's my favourite bit.
What, your favourite music?
Yeah.
That's
That's the only bit I don't like. It's the only bit I don't like. That's it.
I'll have another beer,
I
actually.
was going to say.
Yeah, please, yeah. We're just going to open the fridge.
No, but
There's the money shot.
That's the thing what we wait
Fans
for.
of video podcasts. Yeah, audio people, we might want to come back and watch the video for that bit.
This is National Lampoon's European Vacation all over again.
I might need a bottle. Carly, I might need a bottle opener as well.
Paul had it.
Right.
You've got it. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Oh, I'm not getting back up again in front of that.
What
Read.
just happened? Where were we? Paul has his head in his hands
Okay.
now. Audio fan.
Bit of a
Yours is just his head.
He's had half a beer, God knows what's going to happen to him.
Yeah.
So at least I don't care to. I'll be lucky. Anyway, so read.
Yes.
I'm still trying to read. I'm nearly finished it, but it's a thick book and it's got very, very small print. But it's the it just took me ages. But it's the biography of Harry H. Corbett. It's written by his daughter, and basically it's telling the life of the actor who obviously was in Steptoe and Son and stuff like that. And I'm just getting to the end of that. I actually finished all of 8 series. And the Christmas shows, and the 2 films, and the radio shows. It's now getting into his other films like Jabberwocky and stuff like that, but it's very close to the end. And it is quite. He seems a really, really genuinely nice bloke. It was interesting to try and get the relationship between him and Wilfred. I can't remember his other name. His full
dad.
name. Yeah, because there was always that. They didn't like each other.
Did you ever watch that BBC?
No, and that's
that
why
was amazing. That was really good.
But did they like each other with that? Because
No, I mean, no.
Up in arms.
So it came out because the actor who played Wilfred was a bit of a kiddie fiddler, wasn't he?
Was he really?
Well,
allegedly, or was it? No,
yeah, this is
allegedly.
He may have been. I mean, or
John has had a few
he was-
beers.
He
No,
was
that's one, mate.
homosexual.
Yeah, he was. But
I'm trying to cover you.
I think no. Allegedly, there may have been accusations. So I mean, of him being. There was never. I don't think it was actually proved.
I haven't got.
I
to
could
that
be
bit
completely
yet,
wrong on
but
that one. But there was something. There was something about his past that the program was not focusing on the funny parts. It was focusing on their relationship. It was really interesting.
He was
They did not get on at all. And actually, Wilfred was a much more acclaimed and highly trained actor than Corbett.
Yeah,
I
but I
think
think
he
he was
took
also
offence
very.
Yeah.
He was very an introvert. He never used
Yeah.
to go out
Yeah,
and
it's true,
do a
yeah.
lot of stuff. Whereas Harry was he was more
Ladies'
social.
man,
Yeah.
yeah.
But he was. Yeah, and it's a really, really nice story. And I'm a bit sort of worried I'm going to get to that because literally he lost a lot of his family to heart attacks and stuff like his brothers and sisters. And it's obviously going to get to that bit where he's going to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just a nice book. It just seems to be plodded on a little bit, and I want to get on to other stuff.
So it's not pace is a little bit off with it.
Yeah, because it's sort of there's a lot of interviews with other people that she obviously did, and then there's because it's not really a proper. Would it be nice if it'd been a proper autobiography? But obviously
He's
got
dead,
a chance to do that.
mate.
Yeah. So you're not going to see that. So I mean, I do prefer those 2 biographies, but this is as close as I was going to get to finding out the real actor or the real real person behind the.
Well, if you get a chance to watch that BBC production, I'm sure you can get hold of it somewhere.
Yeah, I'll see. Yeah,
No
I think
archives
I think I wanted to see it, but I wanted to read this first and then watch
Right, I
it,
see.
and then see what's they took in it. Because I'm thinking from his daughter's point of view, is that going to be more from the horse's mouth rather than?
Or will she gloss over certain details?
I do.
You know.
I do.
I mean, I also saw the one that had Frankie Howard in it and Kenneth Williams. I think was another one of them. They were really interesting.
Kenneth Williams. Who was the actor who played Kenneth Williams in that?
Maybe Cumberbatch.
No.
Or was it Michael?
Well, yes, he was very good.
No, Mike Nixon.
Michael. Oh, bloody hell.
That's going to bug me now. IMDb.
Yeah.
Whilst he's looking for that, I'll tell you about the book I've started reading a long time ago and have come back to read a bit more of it because I'm feeling guilty about not reading books. I've been reading a book by Terry Pratchett and Stephen Baxter called The Long Earth.
Yeah, I've got that.
And this is the sequel to it called The Long War. It's a trilogy, I think it is. And the concept is really, really interesting. And the concept is, what's up?
No, I'm just trying to remember the name. Don't worry, you can.
Concept is it's set in sort of slightly in the future, but not enough to be sort of ray guns and spaceships. But the conceit is that one day someone accidentally discovers how to jump between dimensions of our current world and another Earth that's exactly the same but slightly different. And when he jumps back, he discovers he can make. Well, I'm not explaining very well, but he can make a very simple box with wires and buttons in of everyday materials that you can find in your household that can recreate that process for anyone. And then he decides to put those details on the internet so that everyone can do it. And then you get this sort of whole, almost like Wild West of pioneers who are called stepping between worlds, who are setting up their own homesteads in every other world apart from what they call the datum Earth is completely devoid of human occupation. But they have these inhabitants indigenous inhabitants that can step, called trolls, who are like sort of Neanderthals, but they're very, very docile and friendly. And so it deals with more than anything else. It's really interesting. It deals with when you step, you can't take any metal through with you. So it deals with how people are becoming like pioneers who are setting up their own homesteads and own villages and going back to the earlier techniques of living off the land and making their own forges and crafting. But it also deals with
Minecraft.
Yeah. But it also deals with the politics of the US government wanting to tax those people in essentially living in exactly the same area of land but one step out. And some people are travelling 1 to 100,000, a million steps either way, whether you go step east or step west. It's a really fascinating idea for a story, and there is more to it than that. I don't want to give away the plot, but you get these sort of religious groups who think people shouldn't do it. It asks you questions like, if you die in one of the other worlds, does your soul come back to datum Earth? So the religious groups are very, you get the terrorist faction against it as well. It's really interesting how it deals with how would we cope with it as a sort of mass psychological effect for the whole culture.
Can I ask a strange question?
Yeah.
How thick is this book? I mean, is it?
It's quite
properly.
Yeah. The first book I bought on paper, second book I bought.
So there's more. How many are there?
Well, the first book is called The Long Earth, and the second book is called The Long War.
And you have to read the first to read the second.
Yeah, you do. It won't make sense because the main character is in both. The chap called Joshua Valiente, and he's a very interesting character as well.
Was it Stephen? Did you say it was Stephen?
I think it's Stephen Baxter and Terry Pratchett.
I like Stephen Baxter.
Yeah, he did.
Title
He also did Evolution, which is a massive book where you followed the evolution of the human DNA all the way back from the primeval soup to the end of the world when the universe ends. And there's the most amazing book. Okay. Every chapter is going through the dinosaurs, the mammals, modern day, future, and it's a big book. But I was blown away by the scope of it. Have you read that one?
No.
That sounds good.
It's really good. Because again, it's not sci-fi, but it's looking, and the research that must have been into that book to you follow the very first mammal that becomes our ancestors all the way up to the medieval times. Everything. It's a really interesting book, and interspersed with that is a political conference in the future dealing with the problems of the Earth resources dwindling. So that conference is a sort of backbone of the story, and then the other chapters are the travelling through time, following the DNA strand all the way up. Pretty cool.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Not to mess about with the watch and the
Yeah.
read, but the other one was Fantabuloso.
That's Michael.
Michael Sheen.
Sheen.
Damn,
Michael
man.
Sheen.
Fantastic.
Remember, all these brilliant
Brilliant.
films got released back.
Brilliant. He's in that last Trump films, wasn't he?
It was in the Brian Clough story, which was one.
Oh no, my favourite one was the one where he interviews. He's David Frost interviewing
Frost Nixon.
Frost Nixon. That's a great film. Really good film.
Very good. I liked him in Underworld.
Underworld is quality, just because he's got Kate Beckinsale.
Yeah, in PVC. Yes, we know. Yeah. What about you? Have you read anything recently? Is it comic wise?
I've read a few books. I've read DC Super Villains,
Oh yeah.
which is quite a good book from Insight Editions. Just basically goes through the rogues gallery of DC Universe, which is absolutely it's great because DC have got the best villains.
Can I ask a question? If you're new to DC, is that quite a useful book to have?
Yes,
That's
definitely
interesting.
because it does, even though it goes through some of the older stories, but it does give a little bit. It's only a few details on each person. There's lots of lovely artwork, which
But
is
enough
wonderful.
to get you up to
Yeah.
spec. I mean, are there more characters in Marvel than there are in DC, or are there more? Is it about parity?
I'm not
You don't know.
that answer.
We'd have to ask Philip.
I assume there's more. I think there's more in Marvel, but I couldn't honestly promise.
Okay.
But again, one thing I will say is that Marvel do not have the villains that DC do. DC villains are a lot better.
I got your question.
That's what we're doing, yeah.
So yeah,
I think we're waiting. Oh no, we've got three. Right.
Yeah,
Okay. Cool.
but yeah. So and then we'll go through a few books. In a minute, we'll carry on with the cards.
Yes.
Okay, right. War. What is it good for? Auschwitz. I wonder who that was. War. What is it good for? The bloody Welsh.
Oi! That's what I tell you, guys.
War. What is it good for? The BNP.
They're all good answers.
I'll tell you
Let's
what.
go.
I'm going to go for the bloody Welsh.
Thank you very much.
Oh, thanks, darling. What else have you read them?
So I've been reading The Art of Total War.
Oh yeah.
Now, when The Art of Total War came out, there was a bit of a spoiler when they mentioned the fact they were doing some Warhammer properties. It's only one line, wasn't that much. But what they actually neglected is it's actually one of the best art books of recent times. It looks absolutely phenomenal. You've had a little flick through already.
We got video. Are we allowed to hold it up?
Yes, it's already come out. Come out 20 foot. There you go. So, ooh, pretty. So it looks very pretty. Like that. But again, what it does is it goes through all the different games. So the Rome, the Shogun, and medieval and stuff like that, and Napoleon. And it just shows what's good about it. Again, it has the background art, like there's some Japanese cloth painting. Is it cloth painting? But there's a lovely artwork in there. So it's definitely a great book. The review will be coming up. Horrible thing to say. The review will be coming up in a few days. But it is a great thing to watch.
Cool. One thing I should have checked, by the way.
Read, not watch. Read. You don't want to watch it. You can't watch it. You got to read it. Sorry.
You're asking me to put my parents back.
She almost did it, didn't she?
For those listening, I just asked kind of check if it was recording, just to get a repeat of the old money shot. But the oldest trigger.
Double your money. So
My father used to ask the barmaids in pubs to go and get the crisps on the bottom shelf. Same sort of thing.
I was going to say, you will
I hope your father
do
doesn't
that.
watch this.
No, of course she doesn't. Right. What's the question? What's the phrase?
The Natural History Museum has just opened an interactive exhibition on...
So, apart from that, I've been reading the Now Batter,
Oh yeah.
Volume 1.
I like the mobile. So.
Yeah, when Now Batter first came out, it's great. I think we have been through the first issue, well, it's definitely views up. It's a great story. It's all about serial killers. It's about a town in America, which I can't remember. Bloody hell, brain's just gone to fuzz. But literally speaking, this town has spawned about 13 or 14 different serial killers, and only a sleepy little town. And it's really.
It's even got its own. It's even got its own museum of the serial killers in the town.
That's. They create a local businessman develops a museum of oddities that he's collected, which is quite good. But again, it's a good little story because you think you know who the main killer is, and it all crosses paths. It's a little bit Silence of the Lambs-ish.
Yeah, and the artwork's lovely as well.
Yeah,
it's quite unique looking.
And Joshua Williamson is the writer, and he's probably one of the best writers out there at the moment. He's doing Birthright, which is absolutely phenomenal, which I could go through in a minute. Now Biter, Ghosted, and he's still doing Captain Midnight for Dark Horse as well, so he's got quite a good thing. But Now Biter, if you like psychological stuff and horror stuff, he's probably one of the best ones to read. It's not where Witches intends to scare you. Now Biter is more psychological.
And also, I think Now Biter it intends to keep you interested by the mystery and the intrigue of what's going on.
But it actually is intriguing,
Is,
and that's what's very good about it. But the blood scenes are pretty bloody as well.
Yeah,
so
but
it does give you a payoff.
Yeah, and I think it has really, really interesting characters, and especially Now Biter himself.
Yeah.
Really interesting. I can see that being Pickups American TV series.
Yeah, that's the thing with there's so many comics now which are going into TV. You've got Five Ghosts, you've got Outcast, and things like that. That just literally Image seem to be a TV production company these days. So, do you want to go through this one and then we'll go through the Birthright after?
Okay.
The Natural History Museum has just opened an interactive exhibition on natural male enhancement. The Natural History Museum has just opened an interactive exhibition on a micro penis. I think we've got a theme here going.
Go make it three. Make it three.
And the Natural History Museum has just opened an interactive exhibition on my vagina. Well, whoever said that has got to get it.
Who said vagina? Oh, Steve again! You get all the best cards, mate, don't you?
I think Steve is basically the winner tonight. Those not supposed to be the winner, but there is.
How can I not put my vagina in there? It's getting me to do my boobs on there.
I think it's quite refreshing having a female voice on the cards, isn't it, really?
Right.
Yeah.
When I'm a billionaire, I shall erect a 50-foot statue to commemorate.
Birthright. Again, so another Joshua Williams book. I've read up to issue 4. I think the trailer's just been announced. Its idea is there's a dad playing with his son in a park, throws a ball into the bushes, and the dad then goes in, calls out to the child doesn't come back, which is every parent's worst nightmare, wrapped up into an enigma and carries on. So a year later, everyone suspects the father is the killer, has killed his son, and this is all happens in the first 5 pages, so it is a spoiler, but again, if you read the front cover, it will be spoiled anyway. But literally, so the son, they think the dad has killed him, the mum has divorced him, the older brother gets picked on at school and got very physically violent. Suddenly, a Conan the Barbarian type man shows up in the town, claiming to be
his son.
Yeah.
I think I've read this first.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah.
So he's picked up in the police station, and there's just, and again, the idea is the police are trying to find out who this Looney is, and it's absolutely brilliant. There are some amazing shots in there of like you've seen the old idea about when they show what weapons he came into town with, and you just look at this arsenal of every single medieval knife, sword, axe, and he is very much a Conan Barbarian. But the idea of the story is you get this, you get the current story. You also get his back history of this world he went in, because as he comes back, he's a 35-year-old. It's only a year later, of 35-ish. So he's got 30 years of history to go through in this other world.
There's obviously been some sort of time portal.
Oh yeah. But that is the rubbish part of the story, because the best part of the story I won't spoil, but it gets so much better. Because there's
some more like a dimensional one, if that's not just time as such.
Yeah, dimensional. Yeah, it's every dimensional, but it goes to a different world. But there is something in there which will make you go, "Oh crap! Yeah, he's brilliant." And that's a twist that I will not spoil. But it's one of those stories that if you do get a chance to read it,
how many issues in are we now?
It's 4.
4 issues.
Yeah.
Is it a continuing series or is it a complete series? Is it finished?
It's late. What Image do is that for the first few they don't say it's an ongoing.
So you wait.
To be honest, the way he writes it's an ongoing.
It is, right.
But he has to come back to find 5 refugees that have escaped the world he was in, and have now set up shopping on Earth. So you can tell there's going to be 5 areas. Right. But again, after that, you're not sure. But then that's 25 issues basically to get through all that. So, but then it does have legs, and there's a part of it where you're thinking, yeah, this story is amazing. But some of the monster artwork is absolutely just spot on, and it's one of those things you read and you think they've got the scale and dimension of the people compared to these giant monsters, and a bit of craziness and hilarity will ensue. But the twist is what really is, by the end of the first episode, if you're not hooked, issue, maybe it's my watch and read. If you're not hooked on it by the end of the first issue, then I don't know what's wrong with you.
You're not a comic fan.
No, I'm just not a fan
of reading.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yes, just don't read it.
Just sit at home and
go back to boring stories. I've been out. I just play Cards Against Humanity.
Just sit in your front room and masturbate to a picture of I don't know, Boris Yeltsin.
I was going to say, I thought you were going to say Yeltsin.
Okay.
We can't do it.
Why not? Because she can't blood.
Yeah. So just wait for 1 second.
Has she just had a shit?
No.
Wait.
On top.
Oh right. Okay.
I was waiting till you finished just.
I've definitely heard a flush there. I've definitely heard a flush.
Okay.
Sorry. A load of dogs just went, what was that noise? I heard a whistling.
So
he's going to finish his sentence in a minute, he'll finish his sentence in a minute.
We're going to have one more round
Of what?
of this, and then we're going to sum up.
With the and then
We'll
we
sum
need
cards.
the haiku, don't we?
Yes, and then we do the haiku.
Cool.
And that's how we finish.
Okay.
That's I haven't
roll.
had a good hand yet.
Good.
Right,
Sorry, what was that?
Right. When I'm a billionaire, I shall erect a 50-foot statue to commemorate geese.
That's a weird one.
When I'm a billionaire, I shall erect a 50-foot statue to commemorate 8 ounces of sweet Mexican black tar heroin. When I'm a billionaire, I shall erect a 50-foot statue to commemorate Stephen Hawking talking dirty.
They haven't been that offensive, really, have they?
Yeah.
No, that's what we're worried about.
I'm going to go with Stephen Hawking talking dirty.
Yes!
So fun.
My streak continues. 1 win. Okay, so last one.
Okay. I have now the cards are. You can pass the haiku.
Actually, give it to me. I'll do the cards are. You three, this is whoever wins this wins the game. Because we play differently. We'll play our own style.
Right,
Yeah.
No, not doing that. Okay. Next on.
The cards can do that. I think.
Okay. Next on Sky Sports, the World Championship of.
Oh no, that's boring.
That's what I thought. I'll change that one. I don't like that one.
Might have a bit more.
Okay, because this is quite good for us.
We haven't had any 2 card ones.
This is what we're about to have. Introducing the amazing superhero / psychic duo. It's blank and blank.
Oh no. I haven't got any people.
So I will say that I've actually quite enjoyed this game.
It's good, yeah.
It doesn't seem. I was expecting.
Depends on the cards you get.
And that's the only problem with it. You could be really a bit rough if you wanted to be.
Yeah.
But
You can choose how much you take it. Really,
Yeah,
can't you?
and I do.
How far you take it.
How do you know which way you want these?
Oh yeah, so when you pick them up, the top card should be the first blank, and the bottom card should be the next blank.
Read it again then.
That makes sense.
Oh, okay.
In my case-
Introducing the amazing
in my case,
superhero
it's my-
/ psychic
crap,
duo.
so.
It's
Okay.
so top card. Okay, so you just put them into different positions. I'll close my eyes because we're 2 cheats with all the blindfold. So what do we think of the game, Injuns and ladies?
Cards Against Humanity. I think it's. I enjoy it. I think the only thing it lacks is a finality in terms of points or edge of competitiveness. But I think perhaps it's designed to be just
next time poker chips.
yeah, or it's designed to be played with a few beers from just to piss themselves at the answers. Really, isn't it? You can make your own extra rules, or your own points in it, like you can kind of tonight. It's open for adaptation, but I also think maybe we should shuffle the cards a little bit as well.
I was going to say they've not been rude enough for
They haven't been rude enough for my life. I mean, what we might do, I might just find some examples here now of some of the really disgusting stuff.
Oh no, there are, again, it depends on.
Depends
Depends on
the question. Like, here's one of the answers.
Yeah,
one of the answers.
okay. No, we'll just do a game after.
We'll do a proper game afterwards.
What? Without
Ju- Well, just with the
We'll
camera.
go crazy.
We'll go
But
crazy,
just
okay.
actually do a proper
Bonus
quick
content.
Yeah, all
Okay.
right.
The only thing I would say is as well, and this is going to sound a bit bad, but I think it would work better
Yeah.
if you had someone on the table who was easily offended.
That's probably why
Because
we're
then
better
you
than me
can
last time I
actually-
played it.
You would actually,
I took joy in their offence. Am I a bad person?
No.
I was asked, are you a bad person? I said, yes, I probably am a bad person.
no, but the problem is we all have quite a similar sense
Yeah.
of humour in a way, and I do think this game is meant to offend.
I'd
Let's
love
not
to
do
invite a homeopath to this game. Or
When his
or
mother's
again.
next over.
Can I just suggest something?
Is your mother a homeopath?
No, but I wish I choose one. I am an osteopath.
Yeah, difference.
But that's
this is
probably
homey, not
complimentary.
hosty.
Not
Yeah, yeah.
complimentary alternative. So,
Or a religious person, or what's the other word I can ask? Say, or my mother.
basically,
That'd be hilarious.
if you're very right wing and you vote yes, very right wing, you'll be fine.
Warning: one of the answers is Madeleine McCann in his pack. That's how offensive it can get.
Which we won't mention.
But it hasn't got there
Okay.
yet.
No, not yet.
Sorry, Steve.
Oh.
Did you? What? Can you sum it up? Things?
About the game.
Oh.
About the game. Yeah, no, I actually quite. I thought it was quite good actually.
Yeah,
I think there's room for definitely a scoring system for us to use something with, not just chocolate eclairs.
That's what we should have better chocolate eclairs.
Yeah.
I'd really try hard there. I would have been really hungry. and skinny.
That would have been. Oh, you won again. Yes, I just won again.
I'd cry. Yeah, if you did that, I would be crying.
Next
Cards
time.
Against Humanity,
Or it's a
sponsored by
case
chocolate
or it's a
eclairs.
case of we don't eat it. We go, yes, we won again.
Spit on his face.
Yes.
That'd be awesome.
Cream pie.
two on each lens.
Eclairs against humanity.
Actually,
Yeah.
forfeits would be fun.
Forfeits, yeah.
Charlie?
No, I'm not doing
No.
forfeits.
Yeah, we know your forfeits would be done. Any
But
sum-
any thoughts on Cards Against Humanity?
I like it, but you played it. It seemed to be a lot ruder than it actually is at the moment.
He needs to be really
I think,
good.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think.
I think
don't
we've
think
got
we hit the
really
really-
bad cards.
I wonder if they scale the cards in terms of offensiveness when they're new in the pack. We should maybe shuffle them.
We'll shuffle them next time then,
Yeah,
because my cards are absolutely pants.
We had a couple of good ones, haven't we?
Yeah. Not too bad.
Okay.
Got him.
Introducing the amazing superhero sidekick duo. It's when the top one was the.
Oh no, you pick them on like that.
It's Hot People and Hope.
Hot People and Hope. It sounds like a detective
It
detective duo.
sounds
Like,
like one's a ghost.
yeah.
Introducing the amazing
Okay.
hit superhero sidekick duo. It's a mopey zoo lion and a defective condom.
A mopey zoo lion and a defective condom.
That was good. Introducing the amazing superhero sidekick duo. It's a honey monster and the parents.
Deaf parents. Ooh.
Okay.
Which is your favourite?
Defective condom.
I'm the winner! Oh, sorry, I went to time up ago.
So, what we'll say to that is, now you can buy this
We
via.
haven't done a haiku yet.
You can buy this via.
I bought this on Amazon, but I would imagine there's probably if you go to www.cardsagainsthumanity.com, you can probably buy it direct from the suppliers there. But I got it on Amazon.
Price.
20 quid.
Cool. Okay.
Which is €40, $35, is that? I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's £20.
Yeah,
That
£20.
generally covers your matters.
Yeah.
Everything else leads off of us. See, that's what they should have in there.
Cards Against Humanity, 3 hit
What's that in the
siders.
safest?
A mopey zoo lion, a defective condom, and a raving xenophobe.
Foreign.
Yeah, okay.
Actually, we are xenophobic.
Yeah.
These are properly xenophobic. Quick.
Are we going to round up with the Vodcast?
So, how do we do the haiku?
The haiku. So the haiku, you can choose one of your cards. I think it's one of your cards, and we then put those 3 cards.
4 cards. Thesaurus.
Is that again?
Can't count.
You said 3 cards. Thesaurus.
Oh yeah, 4 cards. No, you take.
4 candles.
We apologise for this.
Where's the haiku card?
You can't
Yes.
Okay,
Honestly,
so
one baby sham.
yeah, I know. sorry, folks. So you got to put 2 cards out in front of me.
Yeah.
Any 2 cards.
Any 2 cards, including I do this as well.
Yeah.
Then I have to pick 3 from any 3 cards from that pile, and that becomes the haiku.
No issue.
So you choose 2 of your best cards.
Yeah, I've got nothing really.
And then we just mix them up, and I'll choose any 3.
Mine are rubbish.
Yeah, well, not that good either. Let's have a look.
What did I open?
I think it must be quite hard to find the right words that fit every card. Do you know what I mean? To fit every
Well,
instance.
so it's all context.
Yeah.
That's what makes this game better.
So I draw 2, pick 3. Right, that one there. Just checking, that one there.
I'm drawing them as well.
Here is the haiku, folks. Nazis, dark and mysterious forces beyond our control. The French. That works quite well.
I must say, that is the best
quite
haiku
it's the best
ever.
haiku ever.
And with that, we'd like to say,
Close that again. Nazis, dark and mysterious forces beyond our control. The French.
And with that, we'd like to say thank you very much for watching if you have made it this far.
Or listening.
Or listening. Backwards Battle does fully endorse this game, even though we do think be a little bit ruder, please. And I'd like to say thank you very much to John.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Steve.
Thank you.
Carly.
Thank you.
And you can follow us as always at backwardscom on Twitter. I'm at WillBeanOssio. John is
At John P.R. Evans.
Steve
Please don't
is-
sue me. Don't sue me.
At second rate punk.
Oh, no one.
okay, and Carly's at no
No
one.
one.
But don't really follow that because that's not really But we'd like to say thank you very much for listening. Don't forget to listen to the other podcast we do, which
What's
is the
that
Random
called?
Chat.
Random
Random
chat.
Chat.
The random chat, you say?
Yes.
Oh.
And John doing his sometimes twits, which has been quite twitches, which has been quite good.
Go and try and do some more of those.
And we will be recording on there. And don't forget to take a look at the YouTube page. And of course, come to the website www.backwardsbattle.co.uk. Thank you very much. Good night.
I'm driving within 3 or 4 hours.
We had a load of beer and cider at the back. And they it all went off.
No, you dry.
I didn't
How
drink.
can you let beer go out of date? Oh, because you don't
I
drink.
haven't drank for 13 years.
Well, hold on, but before we even start anything else then, we have to take note that this is the first drink he's had in how many years?
13 years.
Right, so you hold it up in front of the
Is it
camera.
13 or 14 years?
How long have we been together?
Okay, everyone be quiet.
13.
Do this first, Everyone be quiet, let's have this.
Ah, shit.
It's alright, it's
I'm
only
going to
making
get this as a photograph.
Hello, new phone.
No.
Oh, yeah, it's good.
Video.
We need to tweet you, so we can get that out of the way, get the sausage out of the way.
If you want to tweet, you can take a photo.
Do you want photo or video? You do photo, I do video.
Yeah, do video, it's probably better on your phone. Oh, Paul hates having his video taken.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, even
I
better.
just wait for Carly to get ready.
Cool, okay.
Ready to go. You ready?
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Why are you the whole landscape? How do you it's just chatty? Okay. You ready?
Yeah.
Let's record.
Yeah.
So yeah, 13 years and Wet Your Berry starts.
What do you call it, Paul?
Wet Your Berry.
Wet my what?
Wet Your Berry.
Right, in it. Oh. There we go.
Taste.
Just want a little balloon.
There we go, that's going to be tweeted straight away. 13 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to be sick.
It won't
Really? Seriously?
Not